never thought I'd find myself in a situation where I'd cross a line I'd always told myself was sacred. Yet here I am, standing at the edge, torn between what my heart screams and what my mind knows is dangerous. It all started when I unexpectedly ran into Marcus, my best friend's brother, during a weekend getaway. He was freshly divorced, twice my age, and I'd always seen him as off-limits, a kind of forbidden fruit. But that weekend, something shifted. An accidental brush of our hands in the crowded hotel lobby, a breathless pause when our eyes met, and suddenly the boundaries I carefully built around myself started to crumble. I felt the heat of his gaze, the subtle scent of cedar, and the faint trace of aftershave, pulling me into a dangerous dance I knew I shouldn't want, but couldn't resist. The more I tried to dismiss it, to deny the pounding of my heart, the more addictive the connection became. We found ourselves alone during that trip. No friends, no distractions, and every glance, every lingering touch felt like a spark igniting beneath my skin, threatening to burn everything I'd worked so hard to protect. His voice, low and gravelly, resonated in my mind long after he'd gone, whispering promises of escape, of feeling alive again. That night, as I lay in the dark, the scent of his memory haunted me. Warmth, strength. The way he looked at me as if I was the only thing that mattered. I told myself it was just a fleeting moment, a mistake born of loneliness and longing. But deep down, I knew it was the beginning of something much more dangerous, something I wasn't sure I could ever walk away from. If this confession has you on the edge of your seat, hit like and share, because you will not believe what happens next. As I try to piece together the wreckage of my quiet, predictable life, I realize that I am caught in a storm I've inadvertently stirred up. My marriage, once stable, has become a hollow shell of its former self. My husband, Mark, and I shared a life built on routine. Our mornings filled with coffee and shared glances. Our evenings filled with the comforting hum of familiarity. I cherished those quiet moments. The way his hand would find mine across the breakfast table, the way his laugh could still make me smile even on my worst days. But beneath that calm surface, something was missing, an itch I'd learned to ignore. That was until I met Marcus. Meeting him again by chance in that quiet town felt like a jolt of electricity through my veins. His smile still had that familiar warmth, but now there was a shadow behind his eyes, something wounded, something guarded. I saw the pain of his recent divorce, the way he hesitated before speaking his truths, and I couldn't help but feel drawn to him, like I was reaching for something I'd lost long ago. Our conversations grew longer, more intimate, slipping into late-night texts and stolen moments during quiet afternoons. His words, carefully chosen and laced with subtle affection, awakened feelings I'd buried deep inside. I knew I was risking everything, my marriage, my friendship, my reputation, but I couldn't pull away. One evening, amid the flickering candlelight and the soft hum of distant thunder, he touched my hand, a simple gesture but enough to make my heart race. Every nerve ending was alive, tingling with anticipation and fear. I wanted to tell him to stop, to run back to my safe life, but instead, I found myself leaning closer, surrendering to the forbidden thrill. I could taste the rain in the air, hear it tapping against the window panes, feel the warmth of his palm against mine, an electric current that refused to be ignored. I knew I was falling into something reckless, something that could shatter everything I'd built. But how could I turn away from the possibility of feeling alive again? This secret, this dangerous connection felt like a second chance at love I'd never expected, to feel passion after years of routine, to find solace in someone who understood my unspoken desires. Yet I also knew the risks. If Mark ever found out, everything I treasured could disappear in an instant. And still I couldn't stop myself. Every stolen glance, every soft whisper, reinforced that this was something I was meant to feel, even if it was forbidden. The storm inside me grew stronger, a tumult of longing and guilt. I wondered if Marcus felt the same, if he too was fighting the urge to lean in, to cross the line that defined us. I often caught myself imagining what it would be like to give in, to let our hearts speak the words that our bodies already seemed to know. Would it be reckless, or would it finally make me feel whole again? I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that I've already stepped into a world where nothing is certain, and I'm terrified that I might lose everything I care about. Still, the ache inside me persists, the unspoken truth that I've found something rare and precious amidst chaos. If you're feeling the same suspense, the craving for forbidden love, stay with me, because I'm about to tell you what happens next. This story isn't over, and the stakes are only rising. I can feel it in my bones, that pulse of adrenaline, that longing that refuses to die. I wonder if Marcus feels it too, if he's just as torn, just as desperate to see where this path might lead. Every moment we share feels like a secret rebellion, a whispered promise that we're alive in ways we never allowed ourselves to be. And as I sit here, trembling with anticipation, I realize that I'm no longer the woman I once was. I am someone who's learned that love, even forbidden love, can sometimes find you when you least expect it, when you're vulnerable, when your heart is open, and when you're willing to risk it all for a chance at something true. If this confession has you holding your breath, if you believe in second chances, in the power of raw emotion, then please like, share, and subscribe, because my next chapter is waiting to unfold. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens when two forbidden hearts finally collide in the most unexpected of ways.